Hey yo guys, I'm here to give you my WrestleMania 25 review. Overall, I have to say the show, it was enjoyable. I'd say it was a good show. Had one fantastic, incredible match that really, if you didn't like it, you should just stop watching wrestling altogether. That's just my personal opinion. WrestleMania 25 was it as good as last year? No, I wouldn't say that, but I'd say, I've heard people say this is the worst WrestleMania of all time. What the fuck are you talking about? Have you, not seen WrestleManias 2, 9, and 11? How about you watch those, come back, and tell me why this was bad? How about that? Anyways, overall, this show was good. I enjoyed, a couple of the matches on there. It was hot for, a majority of the night. I would say that, definitely after the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match, you could tell they were just tired from marking out that, Cena, Edge, Cena, Edge, Big Show, and Randy Orton, Triple H couldn't really, get them back into marking out and whatnot, getting into the matches. They were just done, and, it was a real tough match to follow. I definitely think they should have main evented with that. It was two guys from Texas, in Texas, two of the most recognizable stars in your company. Title matches, I understand them being, main events on WrestleMania, but these guys just had, something you knew was going to be special. Why were they not in the main event? I don't know, but anyways. The one thing that I found out, just maybe about an hour or so before the pay-per-view took place, is they decided to bump the WWE Tag Team Unification match. It sucked because I knew it would be a good match, the Lumberjack matches and whatnot. I knew it would be a good match, even though the Lumberjacks were there and whatnot. I'm told it was actually one of the better matches on the show, which I can believe. These teams have chemistry, and I'm more actually surprised with the result that they had the Colognes go over, which was Primo getting out of a vertical suplex and putting Morrison into a backcracker, so that's how they got the win. It really sucks that they didn't get to air that or even I wish they would have made mention of this, on the paper. They just didn't even make mention they had, been building this matchup for weeks on ECW. They really didn't make mention of that. But whatever, that's how we go. There was kind of a benefit going in that, they got rid of this match, is that, more matches would have had more time, and I definitely think that was in the case in the likes of, the Undertaker, Triple H, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, what the hell's wrong with me? Match. Definitely the triple threat had that more time. All of the three last matches had a lot of time. But anyways, that was apparently a pretty good match, and it's only available on the DVD. I wish WWE would have streamed it. Thought that would have been a little better, but whatever. It'll be on the DVD. Then we started, things off where you had America the Beautiful from the lead singer of the Pussycat Dolls, Nicole Scherzinger, I believe is her name. She did a pretty good job, and the crowd, was just all hot. When the camera first came in, I'm like, that is a lot of fucking people. I'm sorry, but holy shit, that is a lot of people. I was, in astoundment at how many people were there. Just incredible to see that many people there. Just to see, in reality, it's just a wrestling show. But wow, that was a lot of people. Then the America the Beautiful played. And then they threw to, a nice little video package where they had, all the wrestlers and whatnot talking about WrestleMania and what their favorite moment was. A nice variety of them. We had some of the predictable ones like WrestleMania 3 and whatnot. Morrison, you could tell, loved WrestleMania 10. Well, anyways, I thought it was a great little package, and then we got to the package building up the matches on tonight's card, or last night's card. Then we got things going with, seeing the announcers' tables, and they actually brought the Spanish announcers' table back since, Taz left. There was no need to have SmackDown as a whole, So I was fine with that. It was actually pretty cool to see Hugo Savinovich and Carlos Cabrera back. They haven't been out there at least in 2-3 years probably. Anyways, you just knew that their table was going to potentially get fucked up at the end of the night. But good to see them back. And we had the three-man booth of Jim Ross, Jerry the King Lawler, and Michael Cole. I think, I'm not a fan of three-man booths, but they have a decent amount of chemistry. We all know about the chemistry between Ross and Lawler. Cole, he doesn't really fit in all that well, but he fits in, you know, better than you would expect. So I'm fine with it. I hate three-man booths, but I think that could be okay. And, you know, it'll be something great to see if they actually follow up on that, but, you know, I don't think they will. I mean, we have the draft in, what, next week? So we'll see where they go for them. Anyways, things got started in the review with the Money in the Bank ladder match. So you just know that WWE Creative changed their mind and whatnot. Because apparently the opening match is supposed to be the Intercontinental Championship match, but I was definitely, you know, surprised with Money in the Bank. I mean, you know, I wasn't really looking forward to it as much as most people normally would for Money in the Bank ladder matches. I didn't like the build going into this. I thought it was just too stale and not a lot of chemistry between the guys, but a lot of the guys in here. Kofi Kingston was made into a star on this show. I mean, holy Christ, because this man got some chants for, like, this is the first time I think anyone ever chanted his name. I mean, like, he did the first, you know, cool spot of the match, and it really, in reality, wasn't that cool. I just, like, marked out, like, was, I think it was Christian and Punk who had a ladder, and they went and ran at Kofi, but Kofi just vertical leaped it. I marked out like you would have thought he did, you know, a 450 splash off a ladder. But yeah, and then, you know, Kofi did, you know, that cool spot with Mark Henry where Henry held the ladder, Kofi ran up it. You know, there's some pretty nasty ones. I mean, Shelton almost killed himself doing that, you know, that flip off of the ladder, that senton off the, or somersault senton off the ladder, I should say. Look, he looked like he landed on his head. I mean, that just looked nasty. What else happened here? I mean, Finlay took a bump onto a ladder that was, you know, placed through the ladder to climb and through the top rope. You know, MVP and Shelton went to do a sunset flip powerbomb. I mean, it was botched. There were some botched spots in there, which is unfortunate, but that's what eventually you're going to get in a match like this. You know, that fast pace and that trying to please the crowd as much as they do in this. But, you know, Shelton and MVP made up for it with MVP getting powerbombed over the top rope onto, I believe, Kofi Kingston, Mark Henry, and Tony Atlas. Henry did his own. Henry did a great job in the match. The place was just super over for Christian. You could tell they really wanted him to win when I believe it was Finlay and Christian and Christian, or no, it was Shelton and Christian on the ladder, and Shelton went over the top, and Christian, you know, used the top rope himself back and looked like he was going to win. The place just went nuts. Punk came in. You know, they were kind of disappointed because they really wanted to see Christian win, but I think the place got, you know, back to favorite Punk when they realized that Kane was the one there. And, you know, Kane got kicked off, you know, due to, like, a nice head kick by Punk on the ladder. Punk gets the briefcase. Overall, I wasn't, you know, disappointed with the result. It was actually kind of shocking, and more so in a good way. I like CM Punk's work, and, you know, I guess it shows that the company really does have a little bit more faith in him than we have ever thought. So whenever he cashes it in, hope to God he wins, because I just hate to see him lose, because it makes a babyface look so fucking stupid if they lose straight away. Not straight away, but if they lose after cashing in, they're just gonna look fucking stupid. I mean, a heel can look fucking stupid, you know, doing that, but a babyface, it would look worse than, you know, a heel. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good match. Definitely, to me, the second best match on the show. That's just my personal opinion. Then we had Kid Rock, and I just thought, wow, this is Affliction Band. Holy Christ, is this an Affliction Band show? I mean, it was probably great for the live crowd, but, you know, once he got through 2 songs, it got a little much, and he just kept going and going. I mean, I like Kid Rock a lot. I mean, I have a couple of his CDs, and Kid Rock to me is one of the better musicians going today. I like, you know, his whole mixing of, you know, the rap and now country genres. But still, I thought he went on a bit too long. And then, you know, I knew he was going to probably play, you know, So Hot, and they were going to come out, all the divas were. And they did do that. And I thought it would have looked better, but no, that was just pointless. They needed to have these girls have individual entrances. At least the ones back, because what the fuck was the point in bringing them back, just all come out as a group, and you couldn't tell half of them apart. I mean, what's the difference between Tiffany, Maurice, not maybe Beth, but, you know, all those blunt, Jillian, and, you know, even the ones that came back, you know, Molly Holly, Sunny came back, and, you know, when she came out, she went to do something with Kid Rock, and you couldn't even see her. They made a wide pan of the crowd. Half the women were in this match when it happened. They didn't even make mention of anyone who was special coming back until mostly they got eliminated. You didn't even see Jackie Gata. I don't think Nidia was even in the match. They made mention of Sunny and whatnot, but they only showed her, from a wide view when her and Tori Wilson left together. The only one that got camera time that came back is someone who's, just really left the company. A normal fan will probably think, oh, she's probably still under contract or whatnot, and that was Victoria. But yeah, I mean, to me, this company has too many divas that look the same. Even the darker-haired girls, because when Gail Kim eliminated Jillian Hall with that Rana, Michael Cole goes, and there goes one of the Bella twins, and you come back and both Bellas are in, like, the far left corner. So, holy shit, man. This was just a bad match. Just terrible. I expected it to be something of this sort, but I didn't think they'd, make it, that bad. Entrances and all, and yes, Santino was in drag, but I couldn't believe the commentators really couldn't tell. Like, they were told not to really acknowledge that's Santino. That was just stupid and that was silly. Santino danced, whatever. I mean, that was, I guess, funny. I mean, Santino hasn't been getting as much play on television as he thought he would have, because, the man's such a great talent. But yeah, that was that match. Just terrible. I mean, what was the point of bringing all these girls back? Especially Sunny. Sunny is someone that, is really important to, the history of the women's division in that company. Maybe not so for wrestling, but for, her contributions as a manager, commentator, and being one of the most popular divas or whatnot in the company, and they just didn't even play it off like she was important. So, that was that match. Then we went to the next match, which was Chris Jericho versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and Jimmy Superfly Snuka with the Nature Boy Ric Flair in their corner. Really, I gotta say, Piper, for a guy that, had cancer and, has that little growth thing, he looked pretty good in shape. I mean, when we recall him coming back in the 2008 Royal Rumble, he looked huger than ever. But, you can't really fault him for that. That's, a disease. So I'm not gonna, blame him for that. But he looked pretty good for a guy, that really shouldn't be wrestling and had, the health issues that he has had. Steamboat looked in incredible shape. Snuka looked, as best he's gonna look. And he definitely, he's old. He's 64 years old. I mean, he could barely move in there. But really, once Piper was in there, I mean, he threw, some shitty drop kicks. I mean, you could tell he really wanted to have, like, a great match, like something. He probably had memories of him and Bret Hart at WrestleMania 8 in his head and whatnot. But I didn't think he did the greatest amount of work in there. I hate doing this, but it was just bad with Piper and Snuka in there. When Steamboat got him in there, holy Christ. So the first elimination was Snuka tapping out to the walls of Jericho. It wasn't... I've heard people complain about the tap out, but whatever. You could tell he did tap out. And Snuka and whatnot, he was in there for, least amount of time. Then Piper got eliminated via the step up and Zaguri. Whatever, and then you had Steamboat and Jericho have, like, a great match. Well, for this, it was great. I mean, this was just horrible the first couple minutes. I thought it was atrocious. And then Steamboat got in there, and wow, the man can still work. The rumors are true. Still in, in-ring shape. The arm drags. The fact he went up top. I marked out when the man went up top and stuff. It was like I was watching, Steamboat Flair, Steamboat Savage, Steamboat versus, Steamboat and Youngblood versus the Briscoes. I was marking out like it was, Steamboat in his prime. It was like 1989. I was watching a tape. It was just great stuff to see Steamboat do. I mean, the near falls was just incredible. I mean, that roll-up spot, I mean, while it may not look as pretty as Steamboat would have liked it, still for this match, that was great. Then you had, they do a reversal, Jericho hits Code Breaker. Steamboat took that move perfectly. Well, I shouldn't say perfectly, but he took it really well. Jericho gets the win, and then you had Ric Flair come in. I'd say Flair took the move the best. I mean, he just went straight down into Jericho's knee. Then you had Jericho call out Mickey and whatnot. Rourke, he took forever to get into the ring. I think he was expecting that massive reaction from the crowd, I should say. I mean, but he really didn't get it as much, probably because he really wasn't as part of the angle as he should have been. Mainly because, he has acting commitments now and whatnot. And then, he gave Jericho a knockout. It didn't come off as better ones they've done. It definitely didn't. It was their extra moment, their Access Hollywood moment. And I don't know if a Sports Center moment as well, but I don't think it was one of the better ones. It just came off like a joke. Like, you don't want to laugh at it, but it wasn't as cool as you could have done. I think they cheered more so maybe because Flair was in there raising Rourke's hand and whatnot. that was that. You know, I was actually surprised to see that Jericho went over, and I thought that was good. And, you know, he had some great moments there. So overall, it definitely, you know, exceeded my expectations. You know, not by much, but it exceeded my expectations. So then we went to the next match, which was the Extreme Rules match between brother versus brother in Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy. Gotta say, first off, thank the Lord Matt Hardy has changed his attire. I think he definitely needed it with the heel turn. You know, now he's, you know, got these long pants with boots with kick pads on them. I like that a lot. You know, Jeff came out with some pretty crazy face paint. Overall, this was a good match. It definitely, you know, it lacked something, I guess I should say. You know, it came off like, you know, a good hardcore match where they were just building from spot to spot, which this match shouldn't have been. They told a pretty decent amount of story. You know, I thought it was kind of surprising to see Matt get little amount of offense in, but, you know, he did. I guess the story is, which, you know, I think it was pretty obvious, was that, you know, Matt was beat, but Jeff, you know, had to take those risks to do that, you know, spot over the ladder and whatnot. That's how, and Matt capitalized to get the victory. The finish was pretty sick. I mean, it was like the safest move, but, you know, it looked devastating, and the place, you know, you could tell with the guys in the front, the people in the first couple rows, you know, their faces were in shock, like, and stuff of that nature. It definitely looked nasty. You know, I mean, they did, you know, a big spot where you had Matt on a table with a chair on top of him, and Jeff set up another table on top of that, and he went through it. You know, it was pretty sick, but, I mean, I don't understand the point of ever doing that spot. Why are you going to crash through a table? You know, that's just something I have. Why are you going to crash through a table and whatnot? A table with no one on in it, for that matter. But overall, it was a good match. I mean, it definitely didn't live up to, you know, what we thought it could be, but still, this feud continues, which is a good thing, as it definitely needed to. And, you know, they booked it smart with Matt getting the win. You know, Matt will probably cut some good promos and whatnot. It just felt like, you know, it was just a build from spot to spot match, more so than, you know, what I expected. Maybe I don't know what I expected, but it just lacked something to me. Then we went to the next match, which was JBL versus Rey Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Basically, JBL came out and said that, you know, you need heroes, and, you know, because you people are looking for jobs in the Houston Chronicle and whatnot, so you need someone to look up with. You need winners, because Texas doesn't have them anymore. Then Rey Mysterio came out with, you know, a mask, his mask was like from the Joker, his performance. It looked pretty cool, I have to say that. Anyways, then you had JBL give Mysterio a big boot, and the bell hadn't rung at this point, and, you know, he was yelling at the ref to ring the bell, and then Mysterio gets the win with the 619 pretty quick in about, what, 21 seconds, and it becomes the new Intercontinental Champion. And then you have JBL say, "I quit." I've heard some people complain, why didn't he go more? But, dude, it's WrestleMania. He's not going to cut a promo. It's clearly another thing to go to Raw with, which I don't agree with, you know, doing that, but he could have walked away and uttered the shock and chagrin, and they could have sent out a press release saying that JBL's going to promise a big announcement tonight on Raw, but whatever. Rey's the Intercontinental Champion, whatever. That should be fun for, you know, however long they want to do it, because then again, he's the Intercontinental Champion, but shit, whatever. And then we come to the match. Yes, everyone should be now, this be known as the match, a genuine match of the year candidate. Absolutely incredible. Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. You know, my words will not do this match justice. Let me just say that right now. This match was just so fucking great. I mean, there are matches, people, where you can, you know, like it, and, you know, some other people won't like it, and, you know, you can understand that disagreement. And then there are matches that are instant classics, and if you don't like it, just stop. Stop watching professional wrestling as it is. I don't know what you can do. You know, there's tiddlywinks or something of that nature. You can go play that. You can just stop watching professional wrestling, because this match was the bomb. Oh my lord, did I mark out like I was 5 years old in this match. You know, Shawn came out with a fucking cool entrance. Came out with, you know, the white jacket and the white hat on, you know, coming from the sky down, and then, you know, his music hit and whatnot. Taker's entrance was shot so well. You know, you came to the entrance ramp, the camera was there, and it was like he just popped up. That was awesome. And we get to the match and whatnot. This was just a great match. You know, yeah, there was some small psychology and whatnot, but I liked how, you know, you had, you know, Shawn working over, you know, Taker's leg, working over the arm of Shawn and whatnot. But that really wasn't as much a factor as it, I thought it would have been, in the match. But, the match took a complete turn for the incredible when, you have Taker do his, his tope over the top rope or whatever you want to call it, suicide dive. And, I was looking at this because Shawn's out there with the referee Marty Elias, and I'm like, he's going to hit Marty Elias. No, they did a flip. Shawn pushes Elias out of the way into the steps. There's a, a catcher there, obviously disguised as a cameraman. Taker goes over, lands right on his head. I swear to God, I thought he was seriously hurt. But I guess I like that intrigue into the match more. It's like, oh my God, they're going to have to change the match. What are they going to do here? How are they going to do it? Because, you saw Taker, like, move his finger like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you do, when you potentially break your neck. I mean, you've heard stories from DDP and Hardcore Hall and whatnot. So that's what I'm thinking. And then the match just went, wow, holy fuck, was this incredible. I mean, you had, Taker block the Sweet Chin Music, get him in Hell's Gate or the Go-Go Plot or whatever you want to call it. Shawn went to skin the cat, he came back, Taker caught him in Tombstone. I'm like, that is it. It is over, son. He kicked out, and Taker's expression was $1,000,000 perfect. The eyes rolled back, and he just heard 1, 2, and Shawn kicked out, and he couldn't believe it. Then you had Shawn Sweet Chin Music him. I thought it was over at that point. And then oh my God, this match went back and forth. Oh my Christ. I mean, there was another moment when I think Shawn hit another Sweet Chin Music, and I thought, oh my God, we're so late into the match. This is probably it. It's probably it again. And then he kicks out. The place went bananas on every finish. I mean, there's probably people who are gonna say, oh, that's just gonna make Taker's and Shawn Michaels' finish not look important. It's WrestleMania in a match that has so much interest and the crowd is so hot. I mean, who cared that they kicked out? Besides, look at these guys' finishers. I mean, they're so established. I mean, kicking out of like Shawn kicking out of Taker's finish, it's understandable, and Taker kicking out of Shawn's finish, understandable. I mean, they're so established in that company, it's not even funny. And then, the finish I thought was just great. I mean, after, I believe it was Undertaker kicking out of Sweet Chin Music again, I'm like, man, look, they're still keep on going. Shawn goes up top, moonsault, Taker catches him. Tombstone piledriver, 1, 2, 3. Incredible match, genuine match of the year. Definitely should be on everyone's top 3, not top 5, top 3 list of the year. I mean, it's going to be real tough for something, to top it. I have heard that the New Japan show that took place yesterday morning or whatnot, match between Kurt Angle and Hiroshi Tanahashi was a really great match, but I doubt it will top this match between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. Awesome, awesome stuff. The place was just hooked onto this. It was, honest to God, like everyone in this building was 5 years old. Like me at home. I mean, oh my Lord, the stuff they did. Oh, these guys lived up to the hype. I mean, at WrestleMania, that is something very hard to do, and they did it. Hats off to everyone in that match. My God. That, honest to God, made you wish you were there. I mean, watching at home was cool, but wow. Oh, my God, great stuff. And then went half an hour. How long do you see a match go half an hour today? World of professional wrestling that isn't from Japan or maybe even Mexico. So that was just awesome right there. Maybe a Ring of Honor match or whatnot, but still a WWE match going 31 minutes, incredible. Then we went to the next match, which was the WWE Championship in a triple threat match, Edge defending against John Cena and Big Show. You know what? I like this match a lot. It was just really tough to follow what place, and I think they know that. They put on a good match, a really good match, I should say. I like the dynamic, chemistry. I like the, the parts where, you had Cena and Edge work together, and they were kind of shocked they did it. Like, Edge and Cena have these great facial expressions. Big Show did a good job in this match. He was that unstoppable force for portions of it. When he got tied into the ropes and did the Andre spot, tell the crowd was actually enjoying that, and Big Show was kind of funny listening to him yell at referee Mike Chioda, "Get me out of here" and whatnot. I thought that was pretty funny. Cena kept trying to hit the FU on Big Show, or not the FU, the attitude adjustment on Big Show and whatnot. He couldn't get it, so eventually it went on Chavo. Edge speared Vicky, and it wasn't like Vicky didn't play a big a factor in the match as I thought she could have, and hurt the match, but her little role was fine, and that was great. Edge speared Big Show through the guardrail. You know, really, then, you know, you had, you know, an incredible test of strength with Cena hitting an attitude adjustment on, you know, he had both Edge and Big Show on his shoulders picked up, and the place just marked out for that. And, you know, Edge slipped off, attitude adjustment on Big Show, attitude adjustment on Edge. Cena wins. You know, the don't pop, but, you know, the place was 50-50 for Cena the whole night. Really, and then, you know, Cena winning, who cares? I mean, I expected that to happen. I'm definitely not going to gripe. I enjoy Cena's work. Hopefully we can get an Edge Cena one-on-one feud, as I thought that would have probably been a really good match. Not knocking Big Show. Big Show can put on a great performance, and he did a great job in this match, but I think a lot of people would have rather seen that match between the two here. Anyways, then we go to, you know, Hall of Fame thing, and, you know, had Austin come out, you know, basically say goodbye. That was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. The place marked out for him. He definitely got probably pop of the night. For a single person, not just a match, but for a single person. Then we went to the, you know, them announcing there was at least over 72,000 people there, which was really incredible. Then we went to the main event, which was for the WWE Championship. Actually, the last match for the World Heavyweight. Anyways, the WWE Championship, it was Triple H versus Randy Orton. Overall, this match, it was just blah. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like the fact that Triple H had this no DQ stip. This is a main event at WrestleMania, and this feud could have had a no DQ or whatnot. It would have, or this match could have had a no DQ, and I would have been fine with it. You know, Orton and Triple H, they plotted. The crowd was just dead. I don't know, maybe it was from marking out over, you know, the Taker HBK match and Austin as a whole, whatnot, but they were just quiet for this one, which was surprising. You know, the finish I thought was kind of interesting, but it was weird at the same time. I mean, you had Orton get punted and whatnot after a ref bump, after Orton brought in a sledgehammer as well, and, you know, Triple H just pedigreed him, and the place was like, I'm like, that's just so anticlimactic. I mean, Orton's out there, and I thought there could have been, you know, with the ref bump, I'm like, okay, there's going to be a run-in from Legacy, there's going to be, you know, a McMahon run-in, whatnot, but we didn't get any of that, so Triple H wins. You definitely think there's going to be, you know, something on Raw tonight about Triple H using the sledgehammer, and that's what they'll probably do. That'll probably be the leg angle. That shouldn't have happened. He used a sledgehammer and whatnot. So that's just my opinion. But anyways, overall, thumbs up to the pay. Anyways, that's it for me. I am out. Peace.